So I had the guys out for the drive generator. These are the guys that installed it, and they were here for about 3 hours, tearing all kinds of stuff apart, putting stuff back together, testing everything. I still had to go through and show them a couple of things. These guys installed it. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. I'm not saying anything. It's everybody's brain working together as far as I'm concerned, but we still haven't found the problem.
Last time on Sailing Music and Lyrics.
Eric, what happened?
So we're cruising along and the generator decided to go unkaput again. It's a voltage issue. So it's either the battery or the alternator. That's not good.
Our videos are not just for us to look back on later. They're for you. And if you enjoy them and want to see more, join the band on Patreon.
So I put the new alternator in and it's just not charging enough. I still have a 15 amp draw on the drive generator. The thing is that it will last for a while. The battery will make it run, I should say. I put 3 different alternators in it, so I know it's not an alternator issue. I have gone through all of the wiring as best as I could. Some of the stuff is very difficult to follow. It's in a box. It's in this hush box right here. And I've got a 144 volt DC capacitor. It says do not touch, because it'll make you have a bad day. So getting him back there is a bit of a challenge. Somebody said that it might be the starter, which is in the back and underneath. I think I actually have to take off the top of the engine to get to the starter, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But at this point, it's not something that I want to do on a hunch. I think I'm going to throw in the towel. I have crew coming tomorrow, so we are going to sail and sail and sail. I'm going to use the generator for getting into Fort Lauderdale. And once we actually get in through anything that could possibly be dangerous, because it'll be nice water inside, I'll turn on the house generator and we'll use that to maneuver. A little bit slower, but it is what it is. Smarter. And down there I have a guy who I think is the guy that installed this one. Like I said, I'm throwing in the towel. I've exhausted all of my brain power, my ideas. I've changed out relays. I've gone through every fuse that I can possibly think of with nothing attached to the alternator. It's only putting out, it's not even putting out 12.9. It's like 12.8. With the battery and the starter attached, it's drawing 12.47. So not even a half of a volt. But that half of a volt could be the difference between draining the battery fully out and having a completely working generator. Somewhere I've got to find where I'm really drawing so much power. The motor should not be drawing as much power as it is. So either the starter's in a on position, not out and causing a problem, but is still kind of engaged and drawing current, or there's a short somewhere that I'm just not capable of finding right now, which honestly doesn't make me feel real good. I mean, this was my thing, you know, being the electronics guy. So I will let you know what we find out as we find it out. Bummed. Very, very bummed. But hey, it's gonna be a good sunset.
So I had the guys out for the drive generator. These are the guys that installed it, and they were here for about 3 hours, tearing all kinds of stuff apart, putting stuff back together, testing everything. I still had to go through and show them a couple of things. These guys installed it. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. I'm not saying anything. It's everybody's brain working together as far as I'm concerned, but we still haven't found the problem. They think it might be the alternators aren't putting out enough power. So they took 2 of the 3 alternators and they're going to go and test those. I think there's some kind of a grounding in the system. There's a short somewhere. Maybe one of the coils inside of a solenoid is grounded and partially grounded, not making a full ground where it'll blow or trip a fuse, but something that'll definitely run the 15 amp draw that we have right now. So there's that. At least there's hope and progress with that.
I had 3 electrical engineers, including myself, electronics engineers. I had 3 electronics engineers on this boat trying to figure out this problem. They've replaced the battery. They took the alternators in for testing. They changed out the control board at the helm. Basically what it turned out was the raw water pump was leaking, and that salt was dripping on the ground that the alternator was connected to. So it was basically a faulty ground. It wasn't actually making full ground. It was corroded so bad that that was really what the problem was. So yeah, 3 engineers, 8 days, and because of the tight space, and I'm going to shove the GoPro down in there because I mean it barely fits, but because of the tight space, it's just something that you didn't see. So that that ground has now been moved, and it's very accessible now. So it was underneath, and because of that capacitor, that 144 volt DC capacitor, you know, I'm not trying to stick my head in there. I mean, I know that it's there. I'm not like totally afraid of it, but you still stay away from it. That's a bad day waiting to happen. But yeah, and we also had some communication problems. Sorry, Mom's getting tired. We had some communication problems also. None of the guys, well, only one of the guys spoke English. So I had my phone out here and we're Google translating back and forth. But the nice thing about having electronics engineers around is electronics is a universal language. Anybody can read a schematic. You know, you can throw a schematic out and point and say something, and the word may not mean resistor to you, but you know that it's a resistor, you know that it's a capacitor, you know that this line goes to a battery. It is a universal language when you're looking at schematics. And I had, in my opinion, some of the smartest people on this boat, you know, the last couple of days. So, I mean, I'm a little, no lie, I'm a little frustrated that it took so long to figure out something so simple, but I didn't figure it out. And I mean, we literally exhausted everything. I wasn't out here holding their hand. That's why there's literally 4 seconds of video. I'd walk out and see how they were doing. I would talk to them, and we would go over some ideas. But I mean, we've had so much going on this week. It has just been one killer of a week. I mean, lots of stuff. So, but yeah, she's fixed. Looks like we can go to Bahamas. Awesome.
Hey guys, this is Lisa. Thank you so much for watching this far of the faux creation. of what happened with our alternator. Now, I just called it a faux creation, so let me explain what that means. The last piece that you just saw in that video was Erik actually recreating all of the drama that we had with the 8 days of trying to troubleshoot the problem, only to find out, at considerable expense we might add, that the problem was actually a faulty ground from salt water getting into it. I'm here in California. Tomorrow night I take a red eye and I'm going to head back to the Bahamas. The faux creation was actually recorded yesterday. The big question that Erik wanted to ask was, is this something that would bother you? Oftentimes when the shit hits the fan, and it often happens at 3 o'clock in the morning, we are unable to take video, and that is the last thing that's on our mind. And then when we're really in the thick of doing something, troubleshooting a problem, we don't think in terms of, oh, well, let me turn this on and play videographer. But we do want to share with you all of the drama of what goes on to really live aboard a boat and take care of it. So we would love to hear from you. Let us know. Have a great day. See you soon.